On to strategy number 3. We're going to go ahead and move to the Beers book, When Kids Can't Read, What Teachers Can Do. And please flip to page 149. And by 149, I actually mean 144. We're going to look at the strategy called Somebody Wanted But So. And if your students are like mine, many students struggle at identifying crucial elements of a story and summarizing. That's why I love this strategy, because it provides a scaffold to help students identify characters, motivations, and plot, conflict, resolutions, and then ultimately use those things to create a summary. The strategy essentially consists of creating a 4-column chart. In the first column, we write the names of major characters, somebody. Of course, character names are going to go here. In the next column, we write character motivations, what they want in the story. That goes under wanted. And of course, these are lining up across so that perhaps I have a character here, this is what they wanted, and so on. The next column is the but column. What is the problem, the conflict, the obstacle that is preventing the somebody from getting what they want? The final category is so. So, what happens to resolve this issue? That goes here. Now, of course, many stories are more complicated than just one person wanting one thing, having one or two obstacles, and then having a single resolution. For that reason, to add that in here, we can often stop the chart at a place and then use a word like later or then or but to transition to another line where we have another somebody, possibly the same somebody, who wanted something, but there was a problem, so there was a resolution. And this can continue throughout a chapter, this can continue throughout a whole novel, depending on how long your text is. After we have created this chart, then we work to write one sentence that uses the somebody, the wanted, the but, and the so to create a single summarizing sentence for the text. This is a strategy primarily for narrative text, but it can be fiction or nonfiction. I particularly like it because it roots the summary so concretely in the important elements of the story: the character, the plot, the conflict, and the resolution. So I'll give you just a minute to skim over this strategy. I do want to highlight, back on page 150, is a sample of a filled out somebody wanted but so chart from Freak the Mighty. You can see that this person actually hasn't written that summarizing sentence, and so the strategy really can be used more to focus on those elements or to push students towards ultimately creating that summary. The final strategy that I want to highlight is one that Beers only briefly mentions. Please turn to page 173 for the most important word. I appreciate this strategy because it helps students consider theme and the way that theme is integrated in a text, that it affects and is affected by the characters, the plot, the conflict, the setting, those kinds of things. At the simplest level, students select one word from the text or that represents the text, and then find textual support for why that word is most important. Students then present, debate, and defend their choices. Ultimately, students can then write a theme statement that uses, again, textual support. Beers notes that struggling readers may need more structure, and thus provides, on the next page, a most important word graphic organizer. It directs students to identify the word, then to define its impact on the characters, plot, and setting, and finally to write a theme statement that summarizes the message that the author was trying to get across. I'm going to be presenting that strategy in my lesson, so I'm going to go ahead and stop there and wrap up. Again, our purpose in after reading strategies is to help students recall, comprehend, and extend what they have read. These 4 strategies, who said, 3-level guides, somebody wanted but so, and the most important word, address different components of after reading comprehension. The strategy I'm going to be teaching you, as if you're a student, as I just said, is the most important word. So if you'll go ahead and put on your best student faces, please make sure you have a copy of the student handout and actually 2 copies of the graphic organizer, some scratch paper, and a pencil. And I will see you in a minute.